Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Ninja Capsules and Grounds Espresso and Coffee Barista System. That's a lot of words, but it's also a lot of coffee maker. So you ready? Let's get into this. And here is the box. The coffee maker looks pretty big in the picture here, but the box really isn't all that big, so hopefully it's not a big hulking thing like a lot of Ninja products are. It's got independent sections for the regular brew coffee maker and the espresso maker over here. It looks like the machine can do both espresso and lungo shots, with an extra option to do stuff over ice as well. There's a frother built into the side of the machine, an integrated measuring cup, and it looks like the machine is compatible with Nespresso capsules. For the coffee portion, there's 9 sizes listed here, and that consists of some different cup, travel mug, and carafe sizes. And at first glance, it looks like there's no option for pods on the coffee side. It kind of even insinuates that at the top here.
Are you serious?
Turning the box here, you can see a better breakdown of the machine. There's a little compartment for the smart scoop. You can see the frother over here on the side, but that folds away into the side of the machine. The brew basket is up on top here for the coffee grounds. You've got a 60-ounce water reservoir that's removable, a 12-cup glass carafe, a variable temperature warming plate on the bottom, which is kind of interesting actually, because normally they're just on and off. In this case, you can select the temperature. And it also says there's single cup brewing with a fold-away cup platform, so that's probably sitting back behind the carafe if it's anything like their Dual Brew Pro. There's also an additional cup tray here for the espresso side. Here's a list of some of the things you can do with this machine. And for the type of machine this is, it's pretty much what you'd expect. Classic rich and iced coffee options, cappuccinos and lattes on the espresso side, and also espresso obviously. Looks like the brew temperature sits between 180 degrees Fahrenheit and 220 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't say anything about that being adjustable, so that's something we'll have to look into. Also, the machine supplies 19 bar of pressure for the espresso pods. All right, let's open this up. All right. Okay, right here we got some social media information, some accessories you can get for this machine, including the permanent filter and some descaling solution, and we got some books. Okay, what do we got? We've got a couple of paper filters, the black and white owner's manual. It's got your parts list in here, safety precautions, and some warranty information. Once you learn how to use your machine, you hopefully never have to open this book again in your life. Here is some priming and cleaning information. In case you didn't know, you should always clean all the parts of your machine before you use it for the first time. And you also need to prime the machine to get a little bit of water into it before you do your first actual brew. On the other side of this is some information about the capsules and how to discard them. All right. Last little book we got here is a quick start guide, which is basically the same thing as a user guide, except a lot more pretty. Normally these are in color, but this isn't, but it does look a lot more visually appealing. But enough of that. What else we got here? End of the power cable. Right here. This is the wand portion of the frother. This is the capsule platform. Show you how that works later. Right here we got, well, now that's the top of the machine, so I guess we better pull this out. Like that. And it looks like the rest of this machine comes out in one big ass piece. Like this. Oh, good God. It's in there good. Okay. Let's get this off here. Huh, pretty snazzy looking. A lot smaller than I thought it was going to be too. So that's not bad. Let's get some of these out of here. This right here, probably the carafe. Oops. Oh, that's nice. Glass carafe. Looks exactly like the Dual Brew Pro glass carafe. This is how they normally come. My particular Dual Brew Pro has one that's made of stainless steel, but that was an exclusive for certain stores. But the shape and the construction of the top here is exactly the same. Like I said, this is glass, this is all plastic. It's got a special drip through funnel down here, so when the coffee goes in, it goes down through there, and fills in from the bottom. That way you get the hottest stuff at the bottom of the carafe. If you want to open this up, this just spins out like this, and you can see that construction right there. The stainless versions of this had problems with it leaking a little bit right in here because that was all stainless construction except for the plastic on top. But this looks to be all single piece, so they might have fixed that problem. But I think we'll find out about that soon enough. This little portion here is stainless steel, but it's really just basically a really thin stainless steel overlay stuck on here. It's decorative, but it does look nice. And you got a little Ninja logo right there on the handle. All right, if I spin the sucker around to the back, whoops, excuse me. This is the water reservoir back here. This thing holds 60 ounces of water. It's got some cleaning instructions sitting there inside of it right now. It's got a little pressure release down here on the bottom, and that basically keeps the water from being able to come out if it's halfway full and you pull it off of the machine. Turning this around one more time. Right here we got our smart measuring spoons. They're even marked here on how much coffee you need to use for different stuff. So on this, if you're using this scoop up top, 3 to 5 of these would be for half a carafe, just like that picture, and 4 to 7 would be for a full carafe. If I flip this over the other way, we've got the smaller scoop right there. 2 to 3 of these would be for a cup of coffee, and 3 to 5 of them would be for, it looks kind of like a travel mug. Good to know. Right up here, we have where the wand connects for the frother. Got a power button on top, which is just off and on, and the frother just connects on here just like this and twists on. So you have this out in this position whenever you want to froth stuff, and when you're done using it, just flips back out of the way. Now on the front of this machine, we already saw the carafe. If we pull that off, we've got this that flips down right here to where you can put a coffee cup right there if you're just pouring a cup. No room for a travel mug, so if you're using one of those, that would have to be flipped up. This side is for the espresso. The drip tray over here is adjustable, so you got that position, or it can be up there, or it can go all the way up top to there. The drip tray's got a little layer of stainless steel on it, but again, it's just a thin piece of stainless steel clipped onto a plastic body. The top here is plastic with some rubber attached to it. At first I thought this whole thing was rubber, but not so much. But it can hold a little bit of liquid in case you spill, so that's nice. It does fit on here really good too, so that's not just gonna fall out. We got some stuff on the top of the machine here as well. Right here is where you put the coffee in. The filter goes in here, and you got your outer piece right here that has a pressure stop on it too. So if this is closed, it prevents any liquid from coming out of the bottom, and when it's open, obviously it lets it flow right through. On the other side, we have this right here. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's in the shape of a Nespresso pod because that's how you put them in. You just open this up, set your pod right in there, and then you close that up right there to lock it in. Once you've made your espresso, then you can pop this back open again and push the Nespresso pod down into the machine. That is because this entire section can come off just like this. And that is basically just a collection bin for all your used pods. I personally would probably prefer just being able to take my pod out and disposing of it myself, but it is kind of nice that you got this here, I guess. It looks like the only way you can get them out when you're done with them is by pushing them down through, because it seems like it would be a pain in the ass to try to pull it back up out of there. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I think it's neat, but I don't know if I'd rather use it that way or not, if that makes any sense. Let me know down in the comments if you would prefer it this way or just have the option to throw your pod away. The whole look of this machine is pretty nice. It's all black plastic. You've got stainless steel all over the place, but all of it is that stainless steel overlay stuff that I was talking about, except this handle right here is metal, and that's good because if this wasn't, you'd probably be breaking the hell out of this machine constantly. The front portions of the plastic on here are that piano black shiny plastic. You know, the same kind of plastic that you get inside your car and all of your trim. The exact same stuff that does nothing but collect fingerprints all day, so not a big fan of that. I would have probably preferred a matte finish, just like you got on the top here. It does look pretty though, at least until you get a bunch of fingerprints on it or you end up scratching it or something like that, which is really possible since it is just plastic. Right here you have a little lever, and this is the open and closed feature for the coffee maker. So if you are in the middle of brewing coffee and you flip this to the left, see how it says closed? Well, that closes up the top and pauses the brewing. That way you can pull this out and pour a cup of coffee if you want. And then once you've got your coffee, you put the carafe back in, flip it back to the open position, and it'll continue. If we turn on the machine, then you can see we got two different lights going on here. One is for the coffee maker, one is for the espresso maker. Starting on this side, if I push this button over here, then I can control the espresso portion of the machine. I can use the wheel here to change between the three settings, which is over ice, lungo, and the regular espresso shot size. I can also change that by pushing this button. Once you got this set the way you want and you got your espresso pod in the machine, then you just push the button right here to start your brew. Over on the coffee side, the dial changes the amount of coffee that you're gonna brew. So if you're looking at this, you can see the pictures. If I'm turned all the way over to the right, it's 55 ounces and it is a full carafe. And as I turn this slowly, you can see that's a half a carafe, that is a travel mug, that is a big coffee mug, and that is either a smaller coffee cup or a half of a big cup. So that goes anywhere between 8 ounces and 55 ounces. Pressing the coffee button again here will select how I want my coffee to be done, whether it be classic, rich, or over ice. The delay button right here will let you select what time you want your brew to happen, and also how much you'd like to pour as well. And then it would be set. The hour and minute button here is just so you can set the time, and the clean button is obviously to run a cleaning cycle. All right, luckily this machine is pretty square. The depth, if we're talking about the back of the machine up to where the handle sticks out, we're at 13 3/4 inches. The width is 9 3/4. And the height, if we're going from the bottom to the top of the coffee chute, I would give it 15 1/4. This little thing here that came in the box is for running cleaning cycles. And when you're doing that, I'm going to assume that it fits onto your machine just like this. That's really the only use for this, so just be careful not to throw it away on accident. Okay, I've already cleaned all the accessories on the machine. So before we use this, we're going to have to prime the machine. So I'm going to fill this guy up here with some cold water, and then we're going to prime our machine. Remember, before you brew your first cup of coffee or make your first espresso, you should prime it anyway, and that just kind of gets the water into the machine and gets it ready to go. We can do this on either side, and we really only have to do it the first time. We won't have to do this again. In fact, we're going to prime both sides just to be thorough. So I'll put this down at the bottom. I'm going to get myself a coffee cup and just set it in there. We'll use our espresso button. We're going to make sure that is set to lungo, and then we'll just start. Okay, so the instructions say to do this 3 times total on the espresso side, so we'll just do it 2 more times really quick. Kind of on the loud side, isn't it? Well, that would just be par for the course on a Ninja device though, wouldn't it? This might be more quiet on this side with an actual pod in there, but we're going to find out soon enough. To prime the coffee side, we only have to do 1 cycle. So we'll click this, make sure your basket is in here all the way and this is shut. Obviously you want to make sure the reservoir in the back is full. We're going to set this to classic and turn this all the way up to do a full carafe. Now all we gotta do is start this up and wait, and hopefully this is a little bit less noisy. Well, that wasn't really too loud at all, so that's good. It's kind of a nice touch that this light comes on whenever the heating plate is turned on. That way, at least you get a little bit of fair warning that the plate is hot and you won't burn the heck out of your hand. The machine's pretty quiet brewing. In fact, it's much more quiet than a bunch of dogs snoring, like that over there. Now, I think we should do a coffee brewing test. I can't test the Nespresso pods since I don't have any of those, and the machine didn't come with any, which I was a little bit surprised about, but we can do some brewed stuff. Okay, we're gonna open this guy up. We're gonna throw in our paper filter that came with the machine. We got a little bag of these, it looks like maybe 10 of them or so. And then we're gonna measure out for a full carafe. The full carafe says between 4 to 7 of these, so I think we'll just do 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5!
Now we close that up. We'll just leave this on classic. I've already got it set to 55 ounces, so that's the full carafe. This guy is open right there, so we are ready to go. Also, I think I'll time it just to see exactly how long it takes to brew a pot. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Okay, it just ended and we are at about 9 minutes and 27 seconds was what that got done at. Maybe a little bit on the slow side for a 55 ounce carafe. I was kind of expecting someplace around 8 minutes. So, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if that's really a big deal to you. For the most part, you're probably just going to brew it and walk away anyway. And if you really want to pour a cup, you can flip that off, pour your cup, and then continue on and get on with your day. Let's check this for quality. Okay, so I'll put a coffee cup there. Pour in some of our coffee and see if the color looks pretty good. Seems all right to me. Pretty easy for me just to pour that right out onto my countertop. Pardon my mess. The temperature on a fresh brew like that, 168 degrees.
What?
I remember on the box it said something about 180 to 220. Maybe that's just for the espresso side, but I don't see why it shouldn't matter. 168 degrees is pretty far below that though, so that could be an issue for a lot of people. Me personally, 168 is okay, but I know a lot of people that like really hot coffee. Let me taste this. The taste seems okay, not fantastic, but I'm using really cheap coffee too, so that probably goes a lot into that. And I don't typically drink black coffee. I pour a whole bunch of this crap in it, so I'm gonna make the coffee the way I like the coffee. Basically, I mask it so much that you could barely tell it's coffee anymore. In fact, you might think it was melted coffee ice cream or something. And when you do that, it drops the temperature anyway and makes it indistinguishable from other coffees. But that way, seems pretty spot on to me. The Ninja Espresso and Coffee Barista system is the heir apparent to the Ninja Dual Brew Pro coffee system. It's got a lot of similar features to the earlier machine, but it does add a lot of stuff for cappuccinos and espressos. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be testing this thing out, and once I have enough information, I'll be back with a full product review. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Ninja Barista system, I do have an Amazon affiliate link for it down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, I do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay, 1 cent. Hey, Joe's Phenomenal now has channel memberships. For most people, you can see a join button down below the video window that you can click and see what type of perks I'm offering. If you're using an iOS device, you might not be able to see it, and if that's the case, I do have a link down in the description of the video as well. If you like this video, you might like to check out the unboxing right here for the Ninja Dual Brew Pro coffee system. The two machines are pretty similar, so if you're in the market for a coffee machine, it might be a good watch just to see which one's better for you. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.